system series. So in this lecture that we will understand the time. So how time plays a major role in a distributed system. First we will see what is time in the aspects of single system, single computer. Then we will see how it affects when you have a distributed system that is made up of network of computers. Time. So when we say time, that we know that what is time. Time is what we know is time is a notion of existence, presence. So we can represent the time in the form of hour, minutes, seconds, and millisecond, etc. So this is how we represent time. This is how we represent time in our computer. So before that, we will understand how time is measured in a machine. For example, when you have a computer machine, and it has a CPU, and it is made up of quartz crystal. Quartz crystal oscillates and it varies. It varies based on the temperature of the environment. So the time that is given by the CPU is called a monotonic time. Monotonic time will never be set backward, it only goes forward. So it starts when the machine boots up. So it goes forward, and it will never set. We cannot set backward. Another one is the wall clock time. So wall clock time. This is a wall clock time. So hour, minutes, and some seconds. So this is how we represent the wall clock time. We can set it forward and backward. So whenever we set forward or backward, from that time onwards, CPU will update. The refresh of the kernel. The kernel will refresh the time from that time onwards. So mostly we are not going to talk about the time zone here. We only talk about time in the form of how it affects. So this is monotonic time. For example, the time that is measured in the CPU is called monotonic time. Monotonic clock. So a simple example is that if you use the Java API, you can say that system.nano time, which returns the monotonic time, and we can use this API to calculate the elapsed time. For example, then again, if you have to find the elapsed, so if you look at this one, so we have a nano time. We are calculating the particular task, how much time it is taken. We can use this monotonic clock, which can be used to calculate the elapsed time in the machine, because it cannot be set backward, unlike the wall clock time. If you use a wall clock time, we can still calculate the elapsed time, but this one will be more accurate to calculate the elapsed time, because wall clock time is more error prone to NTP stepping. We will see what is NTP stepping in the later section. But wall clock time is represented in the form of hour, minutes, seconds, and it can be set forward or backward. So this is what physical time. This is what physical time in a computer. So wall clock time can be represented in the form of clock in Java, wall clock. So we can use to represent the time. If you want to represent the time in the form of hour, minutes, seconds, you can convert it. So this is where clock time is used. Next, we will see, so why we have to use a CPU. There is also other clock available, but this one is less cheaper compared to the other clocks, such as atomic clock is available. This is not cheaper, so that's why a clock is mainly measured from the CPU. So CPU clock used to measure the time. So the kernel that runs on the computer refers the time of our clock time. So this is how our time is updated, how it is refreshed in our computer. So so what is the problem with this? So this is not reliable in some cases, because time, even the earth rotation, we cannot say exactly it's at 24 hours. That's not the problem. It may not be accurate as we think it is. It is prone to error due to leap second adjustments. So that's why it's not reliable. So we have to periodically synchronize the time from the NTP server. So NTP is a network time protocol, so which is used to synchronize the time. So the time, that is a global state of time, that is somewhere NTP server, which is most updated time, so that the client that runs on our computer can synchronize the time to update the computer of our time. So this is what time is. So in the next section we will see what is NTP and how time plays a role in a distributed system. So this, we are seeing the time in only single system, right? So in the next section, what if we connect the multiple computers? So we make the distributed database and caches. How? So we have to make a decision when we store the objects in our database, that we also store the time system. So whether it is reliable to make a decision, whether we can make a decision based on the timestamp that is stored in the DB. So we will see in the next section.